scoring 50 points in an NBA game is a great accomplishment. It's something that we have seen many star players do, and even some random role players as well, which is something that just comes out of nowhere, it seems. However, there are stars who haven't reached this mark yet. Today I will be talking about 5 players who I think will score 50 or more points in an NBA game during the 2021-2022 NBA season. Some names will be obvious and some might shock you, because there are names that haven't dropped 50 points in a game yet that shocked even me when I was making this list of 5 players. But before we get into today's video, if you're new and you like basketball, I really think you would love this channel. So if you haven't already, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos to cover the NBA, the NBA draft, and high school basketball as well. So if any of those things are of an interest to you, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Also, make sure you go check out my other channel where I make videos to take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball. If that interests you, the link to that channel will be in the description below, in the pinned comment, and on the featured channel section of my channel here. So again, if that interests you, go subscribe. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So Zion Williamson's career high is 39 points, and I will say this, he has multiple games in his 2020-2021 season where if he hit his free throws, he would have had a career high in the 40s. He should have multiple 40-point games in his sophomore year, but he just doesn't because he does have a bit of a free throw problem. However, I will say that his free throw numbers are trending upward, I would say, so I would be encouraged by that. I think he has a chance to drop 50 plus points, and I would be shocked if he doesn't get it this year or next year, simply because of his physical dominance. First of all, you know, there are any players in the league that are built like Zion Williamson. Obviously, the physical paint play that's dominant to a historic level. You have his unstoppable transition play in the open floor with a full head of steam. You know, he gets to the line a lot as well, even if he isn't the greatest free throw shooter. Although I do think it is something that, again, not talked about enough. He did go from 64 to almost 70% from the line, and he increased his volume. So I think that's an encouraging sign for his chances of getting 50 in a game. And also, he's way more skilled than people give him credit for. He has a very good handle, especially for somebody at that size. And again, all signs point to that level of a dominant player dropping 50 in a game. I definitely think that he can, because again, it's hard to stop him already. And, you know, when you have that combination of dominance and the physical categories and the feel for the game that he does, it's hard for me to believe that, you know, you won't get to 50 at some point, probably even more. I wouldn't be shocked if at one point in his career he does get to 60, but this season I do think 50 is something that isn't out of the question for a career high. Probably something, if I had to give a guess, probably like 53, 54 maybe, but we'll see. He has a lot more on his plate now, obviously, with more probably on-ball creation opportunities with, you know, Lonzo Ball not being there anymore. So we'll see what happens there. I definitely think that there is some personal bias on my part for having Jaylen Brown on this list. Obviously, many of you know this already, but Jaylen Brown is my favorite player in the NBA. One of my favorite players, if not my favorite player ever. He was the first guy I ever did a scouting report on back when he was in high school. You know, he's one of the main reasons I'm a content creator today. He kind of posted me on that path by making that first ever scouting report on him. But besides that, getting that out of the way, he is on the list. And I definitely think, regardless of my bias, there is good reason to have him on the list. His career high is 42. He has multiple 40-point games throughout this past season, obviously. And really the reason why is he has some absurd production in limited minutes. Obviously, he had 42 points in under 30 minutes. He had 33 points in under 20 minutes in the game, which is absurd production. If you can score that many points in under 20 minutes and under 30 minutes in a game, I definitely think you're capable of 50. Even with Jason Tatum there, I think he can do it. Like, I definitely, because again, he was doing some of the stuff with Jason Tatum there, and I definitely think it's possible that he does. He is improving as a shooter. He's a very good shooter, much better than I thought anticipating when he was coming to the league. He's made big strides as a shot creator as well, obviously throughout the years. I don't know if he will, but will be even more confident in his ability to get to 50 if he takes another stride as a shot creator and a ball handler and a shooter, which seems unlikely considering how good he is at these aspects already, but it's not out of the question, I would say. But regardless of that, even without it, I am confident that he can get to 50. He has all the tools to do it, and again, playing alongside someone like Jason Tatum helps him because Jason Tatum has a lot of gravity in his own right, and that will give Jaylen Brown more opportunity as well. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was shocked when I found out Luka Doncic had a career high of only 46. I thought he had a 50-point game at this point. I don't know why. I just think, probably because of how good of a player he's become so early, and the tools that he has as a player and as a shot creator, things like that. I thought, probably he does have a 50-plus point game, but he doesn't. It's 46. Part of this is because of the fact that he does try to get his teammates involved a lot. But I do think it's possible that he does get to 50 this year. He has had multiple high-scoring first halves. He's had multiple games where throughout the first half, oh my god, he could get to 60, but then he ends up with 38 to 42 points at the end of the game because he tries to get his teammates more involved. I do think that it's a double-edged sword with the idea that he can get to 50 because he has to carry the roster around him. Because on one hand, carrying the roster means having to score a lot, but on the other hand, that also means having to pass a lot as well. So it's interesting. He's on the list for another reason though, just because of the fact that he's just too good for me to believe that he'll never just not get to 50 plus. I definitely think he could get to even more than 50 plus in a game, obviously. I think he can get to 60. He's that kind of talent, obviously. But, I do think his mindset of wanting to get others involved, kind of be a LeBron type in a way, is kind of holding him back right now from getting to the 50 mark. I think that he's just too talented to not get to the 50 mark, and I definitely think it's something that will be possible this season. I really would like to say because he's somebody that is so talented, and again, like I mentioned, someone who probably should have a career high that's through the roof, just based off the skill level, the shot creating ability, and his ability to get to the line. That's how good of a player he is. 50 might be too low of a mark for a player this good. Paul George is another name. I was kind of shocked when I found out he doesn't have a 50-plus point game in his career. His career high is 48, which is too off, and that was back, I want to say, in his Indiana days, I believe. It was either Indiana or OKC. It definitely wasn't with the Clippers, I will say that. Obviously, I think he can get to 50 because of the skill level and shot creating. He's a very good shot creator at the dribble. He's a very good shooter in general. He's just off the chart as a scorer. One of the better scorers of his generation, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that. Obviously, people talk about the lowlights in the playoffs and stuff, but he's a very, very skilled player. But the big reason for me why I believe that he could score 50 plus points in a game is Kawhi Leonard isn't there, which means that he's the guy. Paul George is the guy this season. Kawhi Leonard, obviously another player that I was shocked to find out I don't think has scored 50 in a game yet either. And with Paul George just being the guy now, the clear-cut guy, Terrence Mann's not going to take too many shots away from him. There aren't many players on that roster in general that are going to take shots away from Paul George like that. Obviously, it's just anyone that has any shot creating potential is just young and probably going to spend a lot of time in the G League. So he's really the guy, I'll be quite honest with you, on the team. And I think that he's going to probably get 50 points in the game this season, just having to carry that roster. I don't know if the Clippers are going to be that good this year, with Kawhi Leonard likely missing the whole season. But I think Paul George is going to have some really good performances throughout the year. And I think, even though they lost in the conference finals, I think Paul George having really good moments in the conference finals is a major confidence boost as well. So I definitely think we could see, maybe not like, he's not going to win MVP in my opinion, but I definitely think we could possibly see remember that almost like MVP campaign OKC kind of season that he had a few years back. I definitely think we could see something like that from him. And then the final player I have on this list is Michael Porter Jr., who has a career high of 39. MPJ is a very skilled player. He's a good shot creator, very good shooter. Just outlier skills as a scorer for a guy that's like 6'10", 220 pounds, 215, 220, I would say. He has, an ability to get hot from three, which is a good factor to have in potential 50-point games, because obviously getting 3 points to 2 points, math, obviously. He's somebody that I think will benefit greatly from the gravity Jokic creates, because Jokic is somebody that creates a lot of gravity as a scorer now, because he's shown he can score. He always showed it in the playoffs, but now he's definitely showing in the regular season. But I definitely think he'll benefit from that. And given that Jokic is such a gifted passer, he'll be able to find MPJ for open looks. He's also probably going to be able to manipulate things to get MPJ open and get him easy looks as well. So I definitely think that combination really sets up MPJ to have, good opportunities to easily get 20 points a night alone based off that. Also, Jamal Murray not coming back until later on in the year. He's going to get more opportunities in this regard, and the skill level as well. So that combination of easier opportunities because you're playing with such a gravity kind of player and Jokic, on top of the fact of the talent that he possesses as a scorer, I think it's a recipe for someone that could have a 50+ point game this upcoming season. But that's the end of this video. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all those things, be a big help to me. Let me know who you think is someone I didn't mention in this video that will score 50 points for the first time this season. It could be a random role player, it could be a star that maybe you were shocked to find out hasn't scored 50+ points in a game yet. Love to hear it stuff below. Also leave some feedback about the guys that I mentioned in this video. Do you think they will score 50 points in the game? Do you think they won't? Love to hear your feedback, so again, leave a comment down below. Again, thank you for making it to this point in the video. If you have, I know my videos are rather long. I know a lot of people don't make it to the end, but I do appreciate those that do. Again, like the video, help me get 100 likes on this video. YouTube will recommend to others. But with that being said, have a nice day.